salu, ooh, sala salu, sala salu. I'm sitting in the neonatal intensive care unit with this tiny little 3-pound baby in my arms, my first. He arrived 2.5 months early, and to put it mildly, I'm stressed. The doctors say, in good news, he's doing really well, and I'm a total mess. The lactation consultants help me understand that he can actually feel my stress. And the more stressed out I am, the more he will be. So if I can calm down, he will calm, which will help him learn the basics of eating and breathing. So I start to sing. I had been directing Susical the musical at the time that I was pregnant, so this tiny little baby had heard the songs from that show over and over again while he was inside of me. Sala salu, ooh, sala. Like millions of parents before me, a lullaby. Something so simple and yet so powerful. Lulu Toby, Lulu Toby. As I sang, I calmed. I was fully present with my baby. He calmed. Creative play, it's not just for kids. It's a part of our DNA. Dating back 17,000 years ago, we have evidence that humans created art in cave paintings. A child will scribble before they can write. A toddler will dance before they can jump. And this creative play, if we deny it, we are denying a part of our base level humanity. It's not just fun and games. It helps us be present, express our feelings, and tell our stories. So my family is on a vacation to Yellowstone, and my then 9-year-old is in a foul mood. I mean, one of those moods that can like literally ruin an entire day of vacation. So I hand him a whiteboard, and I say, draw your anger. And he does. His little arms, they start to scribble all around, and I think he even adds some swear words in. And as that inner turmoil that was inside of him gets expressed in the outside world, he calms, he settles. Fear. This is what is stopping us from pursuing creative play. See, as kids, when I told my 9-year-old, hey, draw your anger, or honestly, if I told any child, draw your anger, they would probably look at me and go, okay. But if I told a room full of adults, hey, draw your anger, they would look at me like I was crazy. And this fear, it comes out in all these stories we tell ourselves. Oh, I'm not good at art, I don't do that. Oh, I'm too busy. That's not a good use of my time, it's not practical. I'm not a professional, so I don't do art. And underneath all of those stories is a quiet little voice saying, if I try, I might fail. And that is scary. My 6-year-old was recently about to embark on a project to create pet rocks. She had a little pile of rocks, she had some paint, she had glue, googly eyes, even a little fake fur. She was super stoked. So she picks up her paintbrush to start the project. And all of a sudden, her entire body melts. She looks up at me with tears in her eyes and she says, Mommy, I'm so afraid it won't be perfect. My heart melts. I have this art teacher once, totally brilliant woman, who told me the scariest thing on earth was a blank canvas. Well, apparently the 6-year-old version of that is a pile of unpainted rocks. So I held her tight and I said, oh baby, I hear that you're scared, I really do. But do you remember what you learned in kindergarten about perfect? Oh, she said, perfect doesn't exist. And she picked up her paintbrush and she started to paint a perfectly imperfect hummingbird pet rock. But here's the thing, most of us, we did not learn in kindergarten that perfect does not exist. In fact, we learned the exact opposite. If you were making a hand turkey, it better look like the teacher's hand turkey, and also stay inside those lines at all times. And those stories, they stick with us. I have been making professional art for my entire life, and I can tell you that in creating theater and immersive arts experiences, that fear, it's always with me. So what do? Well, we gotta make friends with our fear. Invite it in for a cup of tea. Say, hey fear, I see you. It's gonna be okay. Breathe. Choose to try, even if it's scary. Now, for those of you in the corporate world, let's talk about the ROI, return on investment, for creativity. In the mental health world, creativity and creative play is proven to reduce stress, reduce anxiety, increase joy, and increase connectedness. In the corporate world, Michael Boyle says in Harvard Business Review Online that creativity accompanies innovation, increases productivity, allows for adaptability, and is necessary for growth. And even beyond business, Brené Brown says that her research concludes that the only unique contribution we will ever make in this world will be born in our creativity. So to recap, less stress, more joy, innovation, unique expression. Well, that sounds pretty magical. But how? Most of us cut off that part of ourselves, that part that just engaged in creative play without thinking, without worrying, when we were kids. I've got 5 steps for you to go create today, to reconnect with that one inside that wants to explore creativity. Creative space, creative gaze, creative spark, creative action, and creative play. So let's start with creative space. This is about quieting the mind, giving yourself the gift of just nothing, making sure those to-do lists just go shh for a little while. For some people, this might look like just walking down the street and not looking at your phone, or maybe it's watching the raindrops hit the window pane, or listening to the sound of the wind in the trees. Just 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes of quiet breathing. Back in the NICU at the neonatal intensive care unit, I could have chosen stress. And there was a lot of stress. But I made a little bit of space. I took a deep breath in and out to quiet that mind. Next, we have the creative gaze. Now, this is about observing and noticing the world around us. The world is an exceptionally beautiful place if we take the time to see it, activating our senses, asking ourselves questions. What do I see? What do I hear? Ooh, is there a story that wants to be told? Is there something, a texture I want to feel? How does my body want to move? Do I smell something? Do I taste something? And the great thing about activating your creative gaze is that once you've engaged it, you are already living a more creative life. You don't have to go any further than this because you are seeing the world through the eyes of an artist. In the hospital, my creative gaze noticed that the sounds of the NICU were these alarms and beeps and buzzers. That's not what my baby was used to hearing. He was used to hearing me, his mom, my voice. So once you've created a little space and activated that gaze, then a creative spark might happen. Now, to be clear, we cannot force a creative spark. But when they come, it's like an impulse, an idea, something that just hits us, that says, ooh, something wants to be created here. And your job is to notice it. Maybe you hear a song and you say, I think I need to have a dance party. Maybe you see a really cool color green and you say, that would make an amazing quilt. Could be anything. All you have to do is notice. You don't have to take action yet. In the hospital, the creative spark was, I could sing something he knows. But if you choose to, you can move into creative action. Now, this is the first step, the thing that just helps us get that creative impulse, that idea, that spark out of our head and into the world. It could be opening the pantry door to get out the flour to bake a cake. It could be picking up a pencil to start a little doodle. In the hospital, for me, it was just opening my mouth and letting those first couple notes fall out. Sa, la, sa. Creative action can move into creative play. This is where the party starts, folks. Creative play, we explore, we get curious, we express ourselves. If creative action is the first step on the trail, creative play is the whole hike, and it is about the journey, not the destination. Don't let yourself get caught in the perfection trap. Yes, I know you want it to be Insta-ready and Pinterest perfect and all these things, but guess what? Creative play is about just letting your heart and your emotions lead the way and having fun exploring. In the hospital, for me, creative play looked like this. I sang one song, and then the next, and then the next. I didn't know the lyrics to all of them. I didn't even know all the melodies. Sometimes I just made it up. But what mattered was I was fully present with my child and able to be calm so he could settle and be calm. That was 14 years ago. And that tiny little 3-pound baby is now a happy, healthy 6'2" teenager. Yeah. And in that 14 years, I gotta tell you, I've learned a lot about creativity. I had those same self-limiting stories. I have all the fears. I've worked with these incredible professional dancers who could leap 8 feet in the air. I cannot leap 8 feet in the air. The story I told myself, I'm not a dancer. Oh yeah? Tell that to my 6-year-old when we boogie down to Moana every night before bed. I'm a dancer, and so are you. I work with these amazing set designers, these folks who can visualize entire worlds and then paint them on the stage. I can't visualize a world and then put it on paper exactly how it's in my head. So the story I told myself, I'm not a visual artist. But you know what I can do? I can play with color, I can play with texture and shape and pattern and put that down on paper. I'm a visual artist, and guess what? So are you. So my question for you, what are the stories you're telling yourself? What are the things you're saying to yourself that is stopping you from trying something that maybe you've always wanted to try, or that just might be a little bit fun for a moment or two? I got an email the other day from a woman who told me, I have always wanted to make jewelry, but I am so afraid it won't come out right that I've never tried. We talked and she said, maybe I'll try to make a necklace. Why not? That's the key. Why not? So now you can create creative space. You can see the world with your creative gaze. And while we can't force a spark, I'm going to give you some inspiration in case maybe later today you want to try something. Visual art. Doodle a dog with your non-dominant hand. I promise you this is a great way to let go of any need for perfection. Music. The next time that you are ordering your coffee drink, try singing your order. 1 small latte with caramel sauce, please. I promise you that you and the barista will have a fabulous smile and laugh over this. Movement. Next time you're at a red light and that red light goes, you press play on a song that makes you want to dance like nobody's watching, and you boogie down right there in your car for the entire red light. Notice how your mood changes from the beginning of the red light to the end of the red light. Gamify. Find something you do every single day. Maybe it's feed the dog or make the kids lunches, whatever it is. Time yourself doing it the first day. Then the second day, try and shave 5 seconds off. Then another 3 seconds the next day. Anything in life can be a game. Literally anything. Storytelling. hang out with a friend or do this over text. Come up with the name of a superhero that's never existed. Bonus points if it is your own alter ego superhero. In the end, it doesn't matter what you do. Just try a small bit of creative play every day. Your body, your mind, your spirit will thank you. Happy creating.